Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Anti-Study Study Club. I'm David from Core Language. Really happy that you're here with me again. And remember what we do here. This is the way to learn English the easy way. All you have to do is watch and listen. And my job is to make everything understandable. Because when you understand, you learn. Okay, today we're going to talk about a photographer. We have been talking about painters, but today we're going to talk about a photographer and also a painter. You'll see. Wait. Okay, so this is the photographer. You see him with his camera. So he is a photographer. He takes photographs. His name, Phillipe Halsman. And Phillipe Halsman was born in Latvia, but moved to the US, and he was working there. He was a photographer that liked to take pictures of famous people. You might know her, that's Marilyn Monroe. You know Albert Einstein. You know, maybe you know Audrey Hepburn. Maybe you know John F. Kennedy. So these were really famous people in his time. Alfred Hitchcock, Muhammad Ali, the boxer. Another famous person from his time was this artist, and he was a painter. He painted this very famous painting, and this is Salvador Dali. Salvador Dali has the best mustache in history, maybe. But yeah, so he worked with Salvador Dali, and the two of them worked together. They collaborated. If you work together with someone to make something, then you are collaborating. So they collaborated on many photographs together. For many years, they worked together. They collaborated on many photographs. And here is one of the photographs that they collaborated on together. This is Salvador Dali, the artist. He's in the photograph. And there's a lot happening in this photograph. This is called Dali Automachus, and it was photographed in 1948. The photographer had to try many times to make this photograph, this really famous photograph. So he had to try many times to succeed to make this photograph that we see here. And this is the one we will be talking about today. Okay, what's happening? What is happening in this photograph? There's a lot happening. Let's look at it. Salvador Dali is a famous painter, and in this photograph we see one of his paintings. So one of his paintings is in this photograph. I think everyone will notice there are cats in this photograph flying through the photograph. You see some water that somebody tossed into the photograph to create this splash of water. And then you will notice there's a chair that seems to be floating. Everything seems to be floating in this photograph. Dali has his art tools, his painter tools. I think this picture is really fun, and it shows you the strange world of Salvador Dali. This man painted kind of strange, unusual pictures, and this photograph shows that. Let's talk about this one more time. What is in this photograph? What's happening in this photograph? Okay, let's talk first about this water here. So somebody had a bucket, and they tossed the water into the picture here. So there's water splashing into this picture. The bucket is this. Here's a child in a bucket of water. and the water is splashing. This person is splashing in the water. This woman is tossing some water onto a wall. I have a wall here. This is the wall in this picture. She's tossing the water onto the wall and it's splashing onto the wall. This woman is tossing water onto the ground. And there's some plants here. So this water will splash onto the ground. All right, so in our picture we have somebody tossing water into this picture and it's splashing. You can see it here. So in this picture, the next thing you probably notice is we have these 3 cats. Do you have a cat? Do you have a pet cat? I don't, but I like cats. But cats are not usually flying. They look like they're kind of flying in this picture. Of course, birds fly, airplanes fly, a drone flies, a helicopter flies. Cats don't usually fly, right? But in the photograph, they look like they're flying. Most cats are kind of lazy, you know. They would be happy just to lie down and sleep. But in our photograph, these 3 cats are flying in this picture. All right. In this picture, everything looks like it's kind of floating. The chair, the painting. Salvador Dali, the artist, looks like he's floating. Everybody looks like they're kind of floating. So here are some balloons that are floating. Floating is when something is hanging in the air. These bubbles are floating. A bubble floats in the air. You can also float on water. It's just kind of floating on the water. So in this picture, the flower is floating on the water. So in this photograph, Salvador Dali jumps, Phillipe Halsman takes a picture, and it looks like he's floating in the air. You could try this with your friends. You can get them to jump, take a picture, and it would look like they are floating. These people look like they're kind of floating in the air. The photographer Phillipe Halsman liked to photograph people jumping. A lot of his pictures were of famous people jumping in the air. It was one of the things he liked to do when he was taking pictures. And in our picture, we have Salvador Dali jumping, and he took a picture. Dali is holding his artist's tools. The tools of an artist are the things he needs to do his work. So an artist will have paint and brushes. You may have different tools for different jobs. Maybe your tools look like this, or maybe your tools look like this. But the artist's tools will look like these. These are the tools of an artist. And in the picture, you see him holding his brushes, holding his tools. Okay, let's do this one more time. I'm going to go through it again. This time, you should understand most of what I'm saying. What is happening in this photograph? I'll make it color for the review. Okay, what is happening in this photograph? Well, we have someone with a bucket tossing water into the picture. The water splashes into the picture. There are cats flying. There are 3 cats flying through the air. Everything in this picture looks like it's floating. The chair, Salvador Dali, the painting, everything is floating. Salvador Dali was jumping. He took the picture and now it looks like he is floating. He's holding his tools. He's holding the tools of an artist. He's holding his brushes. This whole picture is a collaboration between the artist Salvador Dali and the photographer Phillipe Halsman. So they worked together, they collaborated. Collaboration is working together. So Salvador Dali and Phillipe Halsman collaborated to make this photograph. I love this picture. I think it's really fun, and it shows you the kind of person that Salvador Dali was. He's a really interesting, unusual, strange person, and this photograph is pretty strange, pretty unusual. The original is in black and white. This is Dali Atomicus, photographed in 1948 by Phillipe Halsman. Thanks again for joining me today on Anti-Study Study Club. I'm Dave from Core Language. I hope you learned a few things. Join me next time. We'll have another photograph maybe, or another painting, and we'll talk about it. And you'll learn English the easy, relaxing way. Just watch and listen. Okay, everybody, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. This famous artist, and I think you know this artist, has the best mustache ever.
Best mustache ever.
So Salvador Dali, should we talk about his mustache? Let's talk about his mustache. I mean, come on. That's a nice mustache.